Before I tell you how I killed my wife and her boyfriend, you should know that I'm not a murderer. I don't stalk my prey, climb through windows, strangle my victims with black gloved hands, and leave red scarves for the police to discover and puzzle over. I'm what you would call a nice, studious type of guy. I was the kind who sat in the first desk in class and raised his hand every time the teacher asked a question. The kind that was bullied by big boys in school. The kind held up as an example by other parents when they scolded their flunky kids who couldn't pass the math exam. The only violent tendency I have is a belief that some people walking around me exist by mistake, that they should be strangled and disposed of to make room for others. I'm sure you think so too. You are trained to smother the thought, so you never realize that you are a murderer like me. I live in a nice neighborhood, selected by my wife after her company went public last year. She bought a house built in the 80s by an architect with a French-sounding name because she needed something that she could touch constantly to remind herself that she was successful. The house belonged to my wife until she was killed. She had no time to write a will. But you must not think I would murder for such little baubles when I already had the three things I loved most: books, music, and cooking, not counting my association with chemistry. You cannot be passionate about the subject of your dissertation.
Hello, Anil uncle!
The Sachdevas are good neighbors, and if you ask them, they'll tell you I am a quiet sort of person, a good host and a good cook. Let me begin 3 months ago, when Uma and Dinesh were still alive. We had just moved into our designer house. Uma's designer house. It was a bright, sunny Saturday morning, as it always is in the beginnings of unhappy stories.
ठीक है यार, he's building a little Delhi here.
It's right next to 17.
Such high ceilings, I love such high ceilings. I simply adore. Wow, so special. Uma always had good taste. Wow. But where's Uma?
Uma's in some meeting.
Meeting on a Saturday morning. Check out the view, man.
I can make tea for everyone.
Wow,
Alright.
cooking range on an island. Beautiful.
It's a built-in grill with water plates. All the cabinets are custom made. Both gas and electric ranges with double vented hood. Built-in sub-zero refrigerator, compactor, custom double-made ovens.
That's so sweet. I want a husband like that.
Is there a deck outside?
Aren't you going to give us a tour?
I would kill for such a house.
There's Dinesh. Late as usual.
दे रहा है, दुरुस्त है.
What's that in your hands?
A housewarming present.
Wow, how sweet.
working tools for the hen-pecked husband. The well-equipped Zoru ka gulam. Think about it.
Great view.
Yes, it gets better in the evening. That house there belongs to David Wickert.
Who's that?
You don't know David Wickert?
Is there 17?
That must be noisy.
There is a sound barrier.
And none of this is yours.
What do you mean?
He's joking, yeah.
What's Uma's is yours, man.
Dinesh and I were what people call old friends, if mere association for many years can be called friendship. We went to the same school, same college, same university, and even found the same wife. Almost. He was like a mosquito, ringing constantly against your ears, until you got irritated and hit out, only to slap your own neck. He was the ladies' lollipop, always the most interesting man in any party. Although he thought himself an overachiever and had what are called career plans, he had amounted to no more than me. This did not prevent him from taking himself seriously.
Hey, Uma is so lucky, no?
Hey, thanks,
That's the
man.
husband who cooks, yeah? I know.
What about Anil? Imagine a wife worth millions.
All he cares about is making money.
Why does it look so late now? Post IPO, vested and everything.
Yeah.
No?
She's got a homebody husband to take care of her house.
Yes, that is no problem.
Where exactly do you work, Anil?
I work in...
Uma! Finally!
She decided to show up. It was about time.
Oh, hi!
I am so sorry.
You got a great house.
Congratulations.
Congrats. It's a lovely house.
How many acres is it?
Is that your property all the way to 17?
Should I show you around the house?
This shows the kitchen.
Men can't show houses. They don't know the difference between vaulted ceilings and cathedral ceilings. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You are standing in the foyer with 45 feet high ceilings and a skylight. Hardwood oak floors with a cherry stain and a maple ornate border. Outside, the entrance is faced with ruby red granite, imported from India. The windows are stained with pila glass and etched by hand by a Santa Cruz artist. This doorway is 37 feet high and made of solid oak. Moving on, the family room has French windows with plenty of space and light. Unobstructed views of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Yeah. I'll soon put in a TV and surround sound for when I have time, which is never. There'll be a redwood deck in the back. And I'm thinking of landscaping the yard and putting in a fountain and fruit trees, maybe a pond or an outdoor barbecue. Yeah. I bet Anil didn't tell you that. Come on. Wet bar with green marble top, formal dining room, living room, standalone fireplace with a brass exterior, custom-built oak wood moldings that lend the room's character. The whole house has intercom. There's a pantry with a temperature-controlled wine cellar and an octagonal breakfast nook.
This must hurt. I could never put up with such a situation.
Maybe that's why Uma didn't marry you.
I don't think you understand Uma very well.
Probably not. She's my wife after all.
If you knew her, you'd be doing something about it.
Doing what? Whatever you did which caused her to dump you?
Who told you Uma dumped me?
I guessed. You may be insensitive, but Uma is ruthless. I imagine she would win the game of who walks out on whom.
All nightmares come to an end.
Some nightmares are lived through. Here I am.
In Uma's house, cooking in her kitchen, offering her tea to her guests.
I made the tea myself.
What else do you do? Laundry? Grocery shopping? Do you even manage her meeting schedules?
Dinesh,
The penitent husband trying to propitiate his goddess. Has she threatened to divorce you again?
stay out of this.
What will you do if she goes through with it?
I have a job of my own.
One that merely pays a salary, 401k, benefits, in return for pouring sticky things from one test tube to another, 9 to 5.
Why, do you have anything better?
At least I know it for what it is. Look at you. You wake up, go to work, put your pre-tax money into retirement, come home and read books. Meanwhile, Uma...
Don't discuss Uma with me. She's my wife. We are not still in Berkeley.
The choice she made in Berkeley may not have been good for her.
Is that why you want to murder her?
I just raised the possibility.
And I told you to forget about it. How dare you ask me that?
You were the husband. I had to ask for your permission. Besides, I thought you might even be interested.
I don't want to discuss this any further.
You do. You just don't know it. Sooner or later, every man wonders what it would be like to bump off his wife.
I'll tell Uma.
What exactly will you tell her?
The house itself is 5,700 square feet on 3 acres of grounds. There are 5 bedrooms, and each has its own bath and private deck. This is the main deck, which I'm having resurfaced. This is our lower deck. Next to the pool, we have our exercise/sunroom. We can get into the house. This is the master bedroom. The fireplace, window seats, and the best view in the valley.
Oh, wow. This is beautiful.
And the master bath, closet with a view, custom-made cabinets for the his and her closets, 6-jet jacuzzi overlooking the mountains. Come on. And this is my den/home office/hangout, where the husband's presence is frequently discouraged and occasionally tolerated. I love these old-fashioned shelves.
Very nice.
Cherry, finish again.
What's this?
These toys?
For Ketan.
Ketan.
Anil has his ways. He's impatient.
You didn't tell us, Uma, already?
Yeah.
Tell you what, there's nothing to tell.
But then why?
His toys.
Ask Anil.
You already have a name for him?
She's going to come around sooner or later.
You don't know Uma. She never comes around.
She does, and I know how.
What grand plans do you have to regain her affections?
Hey, you guys, come on, we're playing a game.
Fun and games.
Alright. So this is how it goes. Hurry up. I played this yesterday in a party and it was so much fun. Here is what you do. You shut your eyes and imagine one person who you would like as your life partner.
It better be opposite sex.
It has to be someone present in this party, okay? It can even be your own husband or wife. And then you have to answer questions about this person.
But everyone will immediately figure out who it is.
Yeah.
You can pass. You have to say yes, no, or pass. You can keep passing questions that will give your fantasy away. But a maximum of 10 passes. For every yes-no answer, you get 1 point. No points for passes. If we can guess who it is, then you lose half your points. And if we can't, for 10 yes-no answers, you win. What does the winner get? The person she fantasized about.
What is this called?
Fantasy. Okay, let's play.
For me, the entire world was divided into 2 kinds of people. Those that understood and those that did not. The first kind were engaged in creating games that the second kind played blindly, thoughtlessly.
Yes.
If you were the second kind, you could enjoy the game and wouldn't know any better. If you were the first kind, you could enjoy seeing people make suckers of themselves.
No.
And then think of more games to continue the fun. But if you were neither, you could only watch uncomfortably.
No. He's a star. A very big star.
Is he handsome?
Yes. 6 feet, big muscles, blonde. Who are you talking about? You couldn't guess. I win. You're supposed to think of someone here. Oh, someone here?
Yeah.
Who was it anyway?
Forget it. It's a dumb game.
I think Dinesh understood some of this, but I was quiet in my contempt. He was loud. He wanted everyone to know that he had figured it all out.
Okay. Is he tall?
Pass.
Is he fair?
What kind was Uma?
Pass.
I didn't know. I could never understand her, place her, classify her.
Pass.
Engineer?
Pass.
Be careful, Uma. You already have 5 passes.
I don't know. I really don't know. Let us now move on to current routing infrastructure and challenges, and then describe how the new technology developed at
Uma was a VP
effectively
of something
enhances the capability
in a company that had recently gone public,
of present
and she possessed all the sunny arrogance of newly successful people.
routing in the electrical domain.
Her job consisted largely of PowerPoint presentations, optimistic catchphrases, and a good deal of smiling.
The primary differentiation between new technologies and the existing solution is the complete end-to-end
To some people in some places, what she said really mattered, because they seemed to take her quite seriously.
as both fast and smart. In this context, the goals of a true optical networking internetwork are planet-level scalability, optically enabled IP networks.
She spent a great deal of time distinguishing between evolutionary and revolutionary changes.
Infrastructure, and cost savings at the system level. We are in a leadership position as providers of the best-in-class solution with a portable, scalable architecture. We like to think of it as a revolutionary, not an evolutionary step in the context of data transfer. We must help our customers make this transition. Thank you.
She hurtled from product launch to product launch, making the world a better and better place for the rest of us. Between launches, she battled stress, anxiety, and the desire to show her house to as many people as possible. Lisa came again and again to admire the view, and said exactly the same thing every time she came.
Wow, this is awesome.
Come on, I'll make you some
That
tea.
was when Uma stumbled upon a new idea. Vipassana in a meditation camp.
I can't tell you how peaceful it is. Nice green hills, no one talks to anyone for 10 full days. They have people to serve you food, do the laundry, clean the bathrooms. All you have to do is keep quiet and listen to yourself. No talking to anyone for 10 full days.
I couldn't stay quiet for 10 minutes, I think.
If you even whisper, they look at you angrily. You're breaking the first rule of meditation. Don't talk. On the first day, I decided to take notes. Pen and paper are forbidden. I took some with me anyway. I decided to write it all down. You know, first day of meditation and all that.
There couldn't be much to write if you're not doing much.
Actually, there's quite a lot. The smell of air, the rustle of leaves, the farting and burping of the fat guy next to you.
So you wrote it all down?
Yeah, on my little piece of secret paper. On the second day, though, I had to rewrite everything and cross out everything I'd written earlier because my outlook had changed. And then, for a few days after that, I kept crossing things out and recrossing them because things just didn't seem the same anymore.
What things?
Just the way you feel about marriage, sex, men, relationships, extramarital affairs, seeing 2 men at the same time.
So, how do you feel about seeing 2 men at the same time?
How do I feel now, or how did I feel on the 5th day?
Now.
It's bad karma.
And how did you feel on the 5th day?
I don't remember. On the 6th day, I was completely out of paper. So I decided to memorize everything and store it in my head until my head was splitting. By the 9th day, however, I had reached the transcendental state.
What's that?
Beyond thought, beyond feeling. It's like dying while you're still breathing. In fact, I would never have come back again if they hadn't pinched me. And also, I had to go to the bathroom. So then, I go to the bathroom and find out they're all out of toilet paper. What do you do then? You can't ask anyone. So there go my precious notes.
Oh, so you brought back
Nothing. No notes.
a pity.
But I'm going again next week. This time armed with a full supply of Charmin. Want to go with me?
What if I don't reach the transcendental state?
They have other states. The state of self-flagellation, the state of space anxiety, the state of murderous rage.
I don't think I could give 10 full days to this.
Because you think what you're doing matters.
Doesn't it?
Well, what do you get at the end of it all?
The first true optical router in the industry. And what do you get?
Notes. If I don't use them up, that is. And meditation lowers stress. Look at me. Do I look stressed out to you?
Seriously though, I'm beginning to lose hair over this product launch. Maybe I should see a doctor.
Well, there's always the state of neutral karma.
I don't know if Uma really believed all she heard about Vipassana, but that did not really matter. She did many things she did not believe in. When she went to her doctor, it was only because one of the 7 secrets of highly effective people
Deep breaths in
was
out
their
your mouth.
ability to stay healthy, so they could plan the next product
Any
launch.
problems with any numbness or tingling in your teeth?
No.
Have you needed to use your inhaler much?
No, not much.
How have your sugars been running?
Between 100 and 150.
Any episodes of hypoglycemia?
No, but I always keep something in my purse just in case. Could you give me a prescription for a new glucometer? I lost my spare.
Sure. Do you need any lancets or syringes?
I think I'm okay for now.
Anything wrong, Uma? You just don't seem yourself.
Wrong? There's nothing wrong.
Working too hard?
Yeah. Another one of those product launches.
How's Anil doing?
He's fine.
Is he still taking his cooking classes?
Yeah, he goes once a week.
Do you get to spend time together?
Not really. Not these days.
Any tension between the two of you?
Nothing I could think of.
You still sleeping together?
Yeah.
Are you getting the rest you need?
Less than I should be.
How many hours?
I'm not sure. 3, 4 maybe? In fact, I've begun to notice that I've started to nod off while driving to work.
Let me give you the sample of the sleeping medication. I want you to take one at bedtime, but please don't take it if you're going to be driving or during the day. I'll give you a prescription so you can fill at your local pharmacy. And then what we'll do is let you get dressed, and we'll plan to see each other in about 6 weeks, okay?
Thank you.
Here we go. See you in 6 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Uma's most obvious trait was supreme indifference to all that happened around her. That left me in the position of always trying to figure out what was going on behind her opaque eyes. I had never been able to guess what she was thinking.
Guess what I just thought? You need to go for Vipassana camp.
What's that?
It's meditation. Clean and simple meditation without any of the frills. 10 days in a beautiful park without talking to anyone. It's well organized and it's free.
Why me?
Why not?
You need it more than I do. You are the busy VP.
I can't give away 10 days like that.
Why me?
Because you are going to tell me what it's like. You're my advance guard. If you give me a bad report of it, I'll forget about it.
Who's going to cook?
How considerate, darling. I'll eat out when you're cleansing your mind.
Let me at least think about it.
Sure. Just say yes when you're done.
But 10 days without a book or a magazine?
Dan!
Uma!
So nice to see you. What are you doing among ethnic people?
Just brushing up on all things Indian.com. So when's your big product launch?
Soon if I can help it.
How soon is soon?
Not anytime soon. So, when is your big day?
We filed already. We're just waiting for market conditions. What's this I hear? You're moving into...
That is a secret. Nothing is going to be revealed until we have our meeting with market analysts. Oh, by the way, this is my husband, Anil.
Sorry, I didn't notice you there.
I was just telling my husband that he should go to meditation camp.
I could use some meditation, especially after seeing the So what is it you do, Anil? Am I saying that right?
I work at
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure to introduce to you a man who needs no introduction. A great friend of the Indian community in the Silicon Valley. Who else am I talking about but our beloved congressman, Mr. Gordon Katsky.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Batliwala, and thank you all of my friends here in the Indian community. And let me greet you with the ancient Indian tradition of saying, Namaste. Yours is a great culture, vibrant, ancient, and wise, and it is blended here with that of the Silicon Valley, the enterprising, the future, the growing. And I have to tell you, you are the crowning jewels in the mosaic that makes up Silicon Valley. And I want to share with you now some of my views for the future.
Who's this Dan?
Ex-colleague. From work.
I have to go to Kumud this evening. Need some groceries.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Excuse me, is this long grain basmati rice?
Yes, madam, it is.
Well, what is the difference between the $8 and the $22 bag?
$8 bag, not good. $22 bag, very good. In India, king only eats $22 basmati rice.
This was the part I hated most about shopping. The smarmy shopkeeper.
1932, sir. No credit card under $20, sir. Cash only, please.
Credit card is okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, your change. Here's your change, sir. Sir, your change. Thank you. Thank you. Come again, sir.
I am content to say to you that I have studied chemistry and the natural sciences somewhat deeply, says the Count of Monte Cristo. He makes chemistry sound respectable, almost like computer science. Dinesh did not quite see it that way. Pouring sticky things from one test tube to another, 9 to 5, he said. It was difficult to take what I did seriously, surrounded as I was by freaks and fools.
Bazooka! Bazooka? Complete! Check up! My invention! Come. Come. Stand. Yeah. Wait here. Sharp tomato. Shake well. hairspray. Spray well. Screw tight. Ignition, boom. Come. You try. Come. Did you know you can kill with tomato?
Now, the main thing about tomato soup is what? Is it the soup? No. Is it the tomato? No. It's the preparation for the soup. You had to cut tomato, onion, and garlic. So, let us cut tomato. Is this cutting? Look at the poor tomato. To feed the cows and pigs, maybe. To feed the people? No. Hey, we're talking about making soup here. And soup tastes good, smells good, and looks good. You have to dice the tomato carefully, like this. And then puree them. Now, take a large pot.
I liked cooking because it was the closest thing to chemistry that could also count as useful. It was slow and undramatic. It required method and patience. And the results were predictable and consistent. If the right chemicals were mixed in the right proportion for the right period of time.
Add julienne onions.
If you think of tomato as a vegetable, you can slice it into salads, or squeeze it into soups, or shoot it from a bazooka. But if you understand the exact nature of its composition, it is a versatile tool, and the possibilities are endless.
Grind some fresh pepper. When the soup has come to a boil, add some fresh herbs that have been chiffonated. Oregano, thyme, basil, parsley. Stir with whisk. Serve with fresh garlic croutons. Get it? Now, who will go first? Okay. Begin by dicing the tomato. Don't cut it. Dice it. Go on. Dice the tomato, sir. It's something wrong. You have to dice the tomato if you want to make soup. Go on.
Wow, smells good. Anil, you are becoming a regular chef. This is so nice. Everything is in its place. Everything has the right color.
I really love the way you've set up your dining room, Uma.
Let's see how long it stays that way. I did what I could, but now I'm too busy. Anil has taken over. He cooked every day last week, and he's promised to do it until our next product launch.
This is good soup.
Wow. So when is your product launch?
Yesterday, if yesterday ever comes. Excuse me.
You are so busy.
Mummy, why don't you make some tomato soup?
See, Anil, they love it. They simply love it. Why don't you ask Anil uncle how he makes it? Then mummy will make some for you. Careful, beta. It's hot. You'll burn your mouth. Just blow into it before you drink it.
Anil uncle, how do you make your soup?
It's amazing how smart he is. And he's only 7. Beta, why don't you tell uncle how old you are? Ask him, ask him.
How old are you, beta?
7 years, 2 months and 13 days.
First tell uncle you like his soup. Say thank you to him. Then he'll tell you how he makes it.
Thank you, uncle. I really like your soup. Tell mummy how you make it.
It's made from a very special substance.
Tomato!
He's so smart. I don't know what to do with him. Don't interrupt uncle, beta. You should listen when people talk.
No, it's not made from tomato.
Water!
Bunty, let uncle talk.
Do you know what a mountain rabbit is? It's smaller than a normal rabbit, but it has much larger ears. Catch a couple of mountain rabbits. Slice the first one into little pieces, taking good care not to lose the whiskers. The whiskers give the flavor. Put the other one into the mixer and mix it thoroughly with baby food. Baby food is made by shredding little babies into fibers, twisting them into ropes, and then chopping them up into little pieces. But before you shred the baby, pop out the eyes and warm them in mustard oil. And of course, you cut off the little fingers so you can bake them crispy red in the oven. Once the rabbit and baby are thoroughly mixed, you add a little baby blood, a few slices of tomato, and sprinkle flakes of baby finger using a grater.
Hi Ram.
Then you place the rabbit whiskers very gently on the surface. Finally, you float 2 baby eyes and you have your tomato soup. This is good soup.
Anil? He's just... Anil, that's so rude.
Bunty, beta, manners. I told you to be careful with that. Wipe it with a napkin. Come on. I'm so sorry. This is such a nice tablecloth. Matches the curtains. I'm really sorry, Uma. Bunty, I'll never take you anywhere again. Never.
Pandu waitresses to the left, right, everywhere. Check out. They have to be extra thin just to squeeze through the crowd. All they play there is Middle Eastern music, and you get to smoke these honey-flavored hookahs. Every Friday night, they have belly dancers. It's so dark, you can't see who is next to you. Once, my elbow was pressed against something soft for a long time.
It's probably a big fat guy's ass.
Uma wants me to go to this buddy Vipassana.
What's that?
Meditation camp. 10 days without talking to anybody.
Great. Auspicious time for accidents. Wife dies while husband meditates on the meaning of life.
That's always on your mind, isn't it?
It's on everyone's mind.
Not everyone aspires to be a murderer.
Only because you have to shoot a gun or throw a knife at someone. People are too afraid of blood, violence, and the police. If murder was clean and simple, and you could get away with it, everyone would be a murderer.
The Dinesh theory of criminal behavior.
Think of all the inconvenient people you meet every day. The fat woman at the crosswalk who holds you up at the green light. The slow car in front of you in the carpool lane. The guy who cuts across lanes without his indicator. Why don't you ram your car into the son of a bitch? Because you value your car and time. It's not worth the trouble. But if you could have him vanish with a flick of your finger, you'd murder the bastard right away. In any case, you don't have much time left.
What do you mean?
You know.
She can't get a divorce that easily. Takes time.
She wants to be free of you when she dies.
What?
Don't you know?
Don't I know what?
She has this condition.
What condition?
Something called melanoma.
What's that?
She's had a mole for years. Harmless, painless. Turns out it's cancerous.
What mole? Where?
Wasn't detected until now. And now the cancer is spreading.
What are you talking about?
Even she didn't know until last week.
Where is this mole?
In the scalp under her hair.
Come on.
I'm only telling you what I know.
If this were true, she would tell me.
I can't explain how your marriage works.
Shut up. Why should I believe you? How would you know?
Ask her. She has 10 months, maybe a year.
I don't believe this. There must be some reason she hasn't told me.
Call her doctor. I'm sorry. I thought you knew.
If what you say is true, then why bother with this business? If she's going to die anyway?
Sometimes a man will do something just to get his manhood back. Think about it. You'll be merely helping along a natural process. And what difference does it make to her if she doesn't live another 10 months? And think of how it might feel. You snap your fingers and the son of a bitch who cut you off vaporizes.
So what? Are you going to vaporize her?
Well, think of something equally convenient.
What do you get out of this business?
Nipples! Nipples! I felt nipples! How do you explain nipples? Tell me. No one has nipples on his ass. Check up. What?
Anil is going for Vipassana.
What Vipassana?
Meditation camp.
Is it crowded?
Hello?
You're late.
I work.
So do I.
This launch is killing me. Start at 6, end at 6. Then come home for dinner and work until you can't stay awake. And it all gets delayed because the market profile is not complete. Who's that?
Me. So, Dinesh, huh?
You're supposed to develop market profiles before you develop the product, not after. But these morons, they won't tell me what they're working on until it's ready to go. And when I give them a deadline, when I finally give them a deadline, they never meet it. What's the use? They're all idiots. And when this keeps going on, I have no social life, I don't get any sleep, and I don't even have time to look at myself in the mirror. I'm getting lines on my face. My hair is beginning to fall out, and God knows how many pimples I'm sprouting all over.
Now you know.
What?
Why I'm always late? It's that damn launch that never seems to happen. Now you know, so stop shouting at me.
Oh, that's okay. I understand. You left the shower tap on.
That's okay. I can afford it. What I can't afford is time. You know I hate that soup of yours. Why do you keep asking?
Uma, I think I'll go for the Vipassana after all.
Good! When does it start?
November 7th.
That's Diwali night. Are we going to do something for Diwali?
I can leave late in the evening. Very late. It starts at midnight, just outside San Francisco. We can still do whatever we want for Diwali.
It'll be our first Diwali in this house.
And so it was fixed up. I was now a murderer in training. I have often wondered why Uma dumped Dinesh. The two of them shared the same belief in the ways of the world, the same reverence for the way things are. They were both eager to make their way up in the world, even if Uma's dreams turned into houses, while Dinesh's dreams remained just that. It's possible that Dinesh was trying to extract revenge for what Uma did to him in Berkeley. I don't know. I bore her no ill will. I did not mind her success. All I wanted to do was read my books, listen to my music, and cook my soup, while she made endless PowerPoint presentations. It's not easy preparing for a death, especially your first one. There are no schools for amateur murderers, no 800 number to call. This did not dampen the enthusiasm of the bazooka man, who was only too eager to help.
Resistance of human body is 300,000 ohms when skin is dry. Drops to about 1,000 ohms when wet. Less if current is sent across body sideways, but still have to get victim wet. Check up. With 12 to 25 volts, you get 12 to 25 milliamperes current. Enough to give a nasty shock and cause loss of muscle control, but not enough for murder. No point. Alternating current like in house is much more effective. With 1 to 5 amperes, you get ventricular fibrillation, then nerve damage and heart stoppage. If you cut the victim and apply current to the interior of the body, you get heart stoppage and max burns.
Isn't there a less violent way?
Violence? Murder like this is not violence. Very simple. Give process parameters, calculate right amount of current, put battery, flip switch, look away. When look back, murder finish, no violence, check up.
What process parameters?
Tell your friend to give fat content and body weight of wife.
Wife? Who said anything about a wife?
Your friend has to murder someone.
I didn't say wife.
Who else will he murder? It is very simple. Just tell your friend to give body dimensions, weight, concentration of chlorine dissolved in pool, volume of pool, temperature of water in pool and ambient temperature. Does your friend's wife swim breaststroke or freestyle? Freestyle people stay out of the water more. Current not as effective, check up. After that it is simple. Put battery and naked wire, wife jump in, gets murdered, done.
Forget it. Forget it.
Forget what? Has your friend changed his mind? Very cheap and reliable method, bete. Does he want to fry his wife or just cook her a little?
What? Just forget it.
I can reduce the voltage.
You can fry your wife with electricity, drown her in the bathtub, feed her rat poison, push her over a cliff, run her down with the truck, burn her down with the house, hope for toxic shock syndrome, or pray that she undergoes spontaneous combustion. Excuse me? Excuse me, sir? Where can I find books on cooking? Cookbooks? Everywhere I went, I saw murder and murderers. I wondered if people could see this in my eyes.
Thank you.
What was murder anyway? A sequence of events leading to a death. All I was going to do was help set up the sequence. Man will never be perfect until he learns to create and destroy, says the Count of Monte Cristo. He does know how to destroy, and that is halfway down the road. Project Murder had taken over my existence. Every day, every hour, I was a murderer. I had to put an end to this.
You can't back out now. I've already spent a lot of time thinking about it.
I will not.
Only because it's dangerous?
Also because it is
wrong.
Look, we are not contract murderers or gangsters. We are just engineers. Whenever there is a murder, there is a murderer. This is not India. They are not going to rest until they figure this out. One question and they'll know all about me. It'll be written on my face.
If you do it.
What do you mean?
You will be doing nothing. You'll just be going for Vipassana. What could be more harmless?
You can't convince me with this I'll take care of it attitude. How many murders have you committed before?
I didn't say I was experienced at murder. In fact, I didn't say I was going to murder at all.
I see. On Diwali night, everyone comes for dinner. I leave for Vipassana, you go home, the neighbors go home. And my wife vanishes like a speck of dust. Like that, huh?
Exactly.
Murders require murderers.
This is our first Diwali in the new house, Uma. Have you seen those lovely lamps they sell nowadays? Shaped like a woman. Let's light these lamps all around the bedroom, and in the soft light, let us...
Shut up.
It's a cold Diwali. Let's shut all the windows and go to sleep.
So?
You're a chemistry guy, you should know. Incomplete combustion. An atom of carbon combined with an atom of oxygen by an unsaturated covalent bond.
You can't really die of that.
In India, I knew 3 people who left a little fire burning in their bedroom and didn't wake up the next day. Teachers in my boarding school.
In a small room, maybe. Not in a large building. You cannot produce enough CO with lamps.
You can, if you spike the oil in those lamps with castor oil.
What do you know about all this?
Every Indian mother knows. Standard way of producing soup. Kajal for the baby's eye.
Carbon monoxide diffuses quickly. Even if the lamp burns for 10 hours, it's still not enough to cause harm.
One lamp burns for 10 hours? Maybe not. But if 10 lamps burn for 1 hour? Maybe.
But we still need a catalyst to increase CO formation.
Shouldn't be difficult for a chemistry guy to figure that out.
Carbon monoxide formation can be increased by fullerene. But fullerene is unstable. It doesn't dissolve in castor oil. Maybe if I functionalized it.
There you go.
Asphyxiation is accompanied by dizziness, chest pain, nausea. All she has to do is to get up and open a couple of windows.
We sedate her.
They will do a toxicity test. In cases like this, they're even more careful. The first thing they will discover is the sedative.
And they'll know that it wasn't enough to kill her.
Yes, but they'll find the carbon monoxide in her blood.
Indian Festival of Lights, newly rich Indian couple, romantic little lamps all over the bedroom. Husband leaves for meditation camp. Wife takes a sedative to soothe her tired mind and goes to sleep, unaware of the danger. Next morning, wife is found asphyxiated. Careless, careless. These Indian couples. Isn't this an obvious accident? Who would think of blaming you?
How will we give her the sedative?
Uma has those Valiums, doesn't she?
How would you know?
I've done my research.
She takes them when she can't sleep.
Make her take them on Diwali night.
I can't make Uma do anything.
You can slip something in her food. You have been cooking these days.
I will not poison my own wife.
You will poison no one. You'll merely provide another, what do you chemistry guys call it? Drug delivery mechanism.
It's too uncertain. What if the sedative does not work?
What if it doesn't? She goes to sleep, wakes up with chest pains, opens a few windows, feels better, shuts off the lamps, goes back to sleep. When you come back 10 days later, she greets you with loving arms. Hopefully.
So, nothing will happen.
Precisely. Isn't that how it should be? The best plot is one that doesn't even exist until it's successful. We are not gangsters or contract murderers, remember?
This is almost like waiting for murder to happen.
That's why it's so beautiful. Imagine if you could kill by snapping your fingers. One snap and the son of a bitch who cut in front of you in the carpool lane disintegrates because his car blows up and leaves the lane open for you. And if he doesn't, you don't go to jail for snapping your fingers.
If I'm going to leave after dinner, then what's the point of lighting those lamps in the bedroom?
That has nothing to do with you. Haven't you heard women say, it's the gesture that matters? Once those cozy little lamps are lit all over the place, it doesn't really count where you are. She'll be thrilled anyway.
I can't bring this up with her. She'll laugh at me.
I'll talk to her.
You seem to have better access to Uma's mind than I do.
I told you, you don't understand Uma.
I don't know if I want to be a party to all this.
Think about it. One snap and the son of a bitch.
Talang kutakati kutakuntari kita tom tei yum tat ta tei yum ta ha tei yum tat ta tei yum. Nice ceremony, everybody. Tei yum tat ta tei yum ta ha tei yum tat ta tei yum. Second speed. Tei yum tat ta tei yum ta ha 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 tei yum tat ta tei.
Yes? Dinesh, what's up? Tomorrow's not good. And lunch, it's out of the question. Okay. Tomorrow I'm having meetings at lunch. You can come in for about 5 minutes. What's this about? I don't understand you.
It's not easy to convince Uma of anything, but Dinesh somehow managed to do it. She gave him 10 minutes, sandwiched between 2 appointments with 2 partners from her venture capital firm, both of whom took more than their share of her time. So Dinesh had no more than 7 minutes of her distracted attention. Somehow, in those 7 minutes, Dinesh not only managed to tell her about the Diwali plan, but bring her around to the idea. For all her professionalism, Uma is easily excitable. Once something catches her fancy, Vipassana, Bharatnatyam, yoga classes, a new house or a Diwali celebration, she jumps onto it until she finds a new horse to ride on.
We'll string those lamps all over the bedroom, in a nice little circle around the bed, on the side tables, Christmas lights all over the house and in the garden. We'll call the Sachdevas for dinner. And this time, you'll behave. No more stories about tomato soup. And then, you'll go for Vipassana. What are you thinking about?
You already know. Why ask again and again?
And you know my answer. I don't have the time.
I know. Product launch. After this product launch, there will be another launch. And then another. Who ever heard of a company that declared it would stop making new products?
I told you then I did not want children. That was my condition, remember?
It's alright to change your mind in 3 years. I thought you'd be used to this by now.
I do this every single day, and I can never get used to it. I have to go every time I see it.
I think I'll skip the Vipassana.
No, I really want you to go. I need this. Do this for me, please. Won't you?
That was Uma's last chance. The Vipassana camp was the final straw. I cannot imagine a more sublime situation than focusing on the oneness of all creation while your wife is choking in her sleep. There's something poetic about it. But 10 days of communion with the inner self would have shown me all the horrors inside my mind. I was meant to pour sticky, lifeless things from one test tube to another, not concentrate on the life within. Between 10 days of meditation and asphyxiating Uma, I chose the second. Like Uma's product launch, this required diligence and hard work and had to meet a deadline.
This slide shows the formula of castor oil, which is an excellent natural lubricant and very commonly used, especially in the past. The key problem with castor oil is thermal degradation of the oil at high temperatures. And this, unfortunately, one of the products of degradation is carbon monoxide, which is a colorless, odorless gas. And so when castor oil is used in a closed environment, the operators of the machinery can often be exposed to relatively high levels of carbon monoxide without them being aware of it. Now, as I described earlier, the properties of lubricants, including castor oil, can be significantly improved by incorporating fullerenes into the oil blend. But when fullerenes are used with castor oil, the result is additional creation of carbon monoxide. For this reason, fullerene oil lubricants are not recommended for closed environments. And of course, this type of oil must never be reused for use as a domestic fuel for heaters or oil lamps and the like, because toxic and even lethal concentrations of carbon monoxide can be generated when the oil is burnt. Is there something the matter, sir?
No.
One of the other problems that occurs with the fullerene blends is slow agglomeration of the fullerene particles over time. Now, this can be avoided by functionalizing the fullerene by creating on the surface of the fullerene particle.
She takes these shots, insulin shots. It's easier to put the sedative in them than mix it in the food.
What's wrong with the food?
There'll be others, neighbors. They'll eat the same food.
So what? They'll sleep late the next morning.
It's too obvious. The neighbors will be the first people to be questioned. After.
Who gives her these shots?
She takes them herself. When you do it that often, they teach you how to do it.
Mix those Valiums in it. Should be easy for you. Exactly as much as the doctor prescribed. Can they later figure out how she took the sedative?
No. They find it in her urine. But they won't know it went in with the insulin. But she takes these shots only when her glucose levels are running high. And there's no way to predict if that'll happen on Diwali night.
That's too uncertain. Even for me.
But she did a heavy dinner that night. Extra oily. That raises the chances of her sugars running high.
Now you're talking like a professional. You don't murder. You merely increase the possibility that it'll happen by itself.
But it's still not that easy. She draws the insulin from a sealed bottle. There is no way I could change what's inside.
Maybe you can change the syringe itself.
It's locked in her closet.
She doesn't trust you?
No, she's just paranoid. Keeps everything locked. One of those habits she developed in business school, keeping professional secrets from competitors.
Maybe you can switch the syringe after she's filled it with insulin.
Whenever she looks at the syringe, she has to go to the bathroom. At that point, it may be possible to switch it.
Seems like you've given this some thought.
I'm merely trying to help. In any case, I can't do it. If she takes the shot, it'll be after dinner. I'll have left for Vipassana, remember?
I won't have gone.
You'll still be in my house?
Her house. Prepare the syringe with the right mix of insulin and sedative. Leave it in your closet, locked. Give me the key. On Diwali night, we leave with the neighbors. You go for Vipassana, and I'll come back to do the switch.
The neighbors will know you came back.
Not if I come back to the back door, which you will leave open.
I have something on the effects of carbon monoxide. The whole thing is too rickety. May work, may not work. May take hours depending on the levels of CO concentration.
What the hell?
What?
I must be a fool to be involved in this with you. Forget the whole thing. Don't take notes, you fucking idiot. This is not an organic chemistry class. I'd be much safer if I kept you out of this. I can just go and smother the bitch.
My wife is not a bitch.
Of course not. You just want to murder her out of love. Relieve the poor thing of her product launch. Euthanasia.
Promise me one thing.
That I'll never call her a bitch.
That you'll not use violence against her. Your job is to unlock my closet, take the syringe and switch it with hers. Then you get out of the house, by the back door.
Why would I want to do anything else? Okay. Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in my eye.
You will follow the plan exactly.
Yeah, I will.
Because if you don't follow the plan, I'll tear you to pieces. Diwali was approaching fast, and Uma had begun to make plans to light the house. Lisa came almost every weekend to admire the view and have a cup of tea. Poor Lisa.
And then I told Rick, why don't we just split it? I do the cooking and he does the dishes. He hates cooking and I hate cleaning up. Works out perfectly. We do it 4 times a week. Twice a week we eat out separately, and every Sunday we go together to a fancy place. Each of us pay our own bill. Works out fine. Since then we've had no problems.
Sounds too regimented to me. Why can't Rick just pay for you when you're eating together? Or maybe you could pay for Rick.
No, we have to be fair. I can't afford to pay for him.
Buy one less dress each month.
Now that's something I can't cut down on.
No such calculations for me. Husband cooks every day.
Seriously, you're lucky, Uma.
I don't know. He started last month.
Better late than never.
No. He started the day I told him.
I see. So you think he may just be
trying to make up and ward it off? Only, there's nothing to make up for. It's not really something he did. It's just that it doesn't seem to be working out.
That's okay. People make mistakes. Getting a divorce is not such a bad idea if you're sure that's what you want. Imagine, I had never found Rick if I hadn't divorced Alex.
Yeah, and you'd still be paying for Alex in those fancy restaurants.
But I love Rick. I really do.
I wish I could be as free with that word.
So you're gonna marry your ex?
Dinesh? I don't know.
You went out in Berkeley, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was 3 years ago. I no longer know what I want. I never know who's on my side.
You should come home for dinner.
And pay for it?
I'll comp you. Only husbands and boyfriends pay. How about Friday?
Friday's Diwali, an Indian festival.
I thought you weren't religious.
This is more of a social occasion. We'll have dinner, we'll light lamps. We're going to light up the whole house. It's our first Diwali in this house.
Sounds interesting. I should come for this one.
It's a very Indian thing. You may not like the food.
I can come after dinner just to see the house. I have to cook anyway. Friday is my turn. Can't disturb the balance with Rick. If I miss a turn, then I'll have to do 2 turns to make up.
Maybe you can come late. Very late when the guests are gone. I'll leave the lights on all night.
I'll let you know. Will your husband be there too?
Oh, yes. He is the cook.
You're having a big Diwali this time?
Yes.
Many guests in your house?
Yes.
This is good. Straight from India. You buy anywhere else? That's fake. This is pure desi ghee.
Yeah.
This for you?
My wife.
Oh, she's in trouble?
What trouble?
This is good for going to bathroom. 1 spoon and no trouble.
Yes. She is in trouble.
Ask her to eat this sweet. Pure desi ghee. 1 sweet and everything comes out. No need for that.
I'll tell her.
Your wife is a lucky woman.
What did you say?
You cook for her?
Yes.
Cook big meal. Diwali is tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
Yes. $1932, sir. Happy Diwali.
No thanks.
Now these here are pure beeswax. This is just paraffin. Up here we have a vintage crystal candle holder, and this here is a scented votive
Do you have any oil lamps?
oil lamps. This is a little more basic model. This one's more fancy.
Can I take a look at that one?
This is hand-blown glass imported from Italy. A little bit more expensive.
That's okay. I'll take that.
It's $18. Are you sure you still want 12?
24.
24?
Yes. They are for the bedroom.
Oh, that's so sweet. How romantic. Should I wrap them up with a note for her?
Sure.
I'll just go wrap them up now. So what do you want the card to say?
What do you usually write?
We have stock phrases, but don't you want something more personal?
Just write for everything.
For everything?
Yes.
For everything. And who should I make it out to?
Uma. To Uma for everything. On our first Diwali in your new house.
On our first, hold on a second, Diwali
I'm sorry, can you spell that?
D-I-V-A-L-I. Diwali.
Lights on the driveway and on the balcony. Where did you get time for all this?
Oh, Anil helped a lot. I couldn't reach over those balconies.
Oh, Anil is such a good husband. Where is he now?
Cooking.
Oh, you are so lucky. I just can't get over these lights.
Yeah, and they look really nice over that hill.
Bunty wants me to put some lights too. But I don't get time after Chintu's work.
Tastes like the Indian 5-star, but you gotta bite really hard. Don't suck or chew on it, okay? Or you'll waste it. Bite really hard.
Bunty just won't listen to her. He's so much smarter than his teacher that he doesn't like sitting in class. He already knows whatever she tells him. What is the point? So I'm thinking of keeping him at home. There is a website for gifted children nowadays. You know, accelerated classes and all that. Bunty, take your finger out of your nose. Baby.
Nice party.
How are you these days?
Fine. Though I don't have a husband to cook for me.
You could get one.
I don't have Uma either.
This is not the time for such talk.
Why not? It's almost my house now.
Dinner, everyone.
Anil makes the best soup I've ever had. I can't stop praising him.
Anil has many other commendable qualities.
Mummy, why don't you make some tomato soup?
Bunty beta, quiet now. See, uncle has cooked so much for you.
It's bitter.
Bunty.
This is good soup.
Enjoy it while you can. For the next 10 days, it's Taco Bell or McDonald's.
Why, Anil? Won't you cook any more?
Anil is going for Vipassana.
What is that?
Meditation camp. To reflect on life. Far away from the world of events and intrigue. For 10 days.
10 days? My God, I can never go anywhere for that long.
Hopefully he'll be in a better frame of mind when he gets back.
Anil has grand plans for his life after Vipassana.
Huh, he'll make even better soup after he comes back.
This soup is bitter. Almost as if it was poisoned.
Hi Ram, don't say such things.
That would be quite smart actually. Los Altos man murders wife, friend and neighbor with one grand meal. Quite impressive for Anil. The perfect murder.
You really have no taste in jokes, Dinesh.
I'm just making dinner table conversation.
About murder?
Not about murder, about death. A well-planned murder is always a death. The result of careful planning, nature, and chance. I'm not talking of shooting, stabbing, all that. Stabbing is not murder.
No?
It's barbarism. Take this knife and slash away.
Why wrong?
How would you murder someone you hated? Tell me.
Me? I didn't murder anyone.
Suppose you had to.
Do I have to?
Suppose.
I would cut him into 3 parts. The head, the body, and the you-know-what. Then I would put each part in the oven, separately. The head for 10 minutes, the body for 20, and the you-know-what for 1 hour. That will teach him.
Perfect. What's the fun of killing if it isn't imaginative? We Indians figured it out more than 600 years ago. Think of Tughlaq. Do you know who Muhammad Tughlaq was?
A very bad man.
A brilliant man. Imagine this. The Sultan comes back from the south. Everyone on the streets of Delhi stands to welcome him. The Sultan on his elephant, waving to his people. And when the elephant passes the welcome arch, the arch collapses and breaks the elephant's back. End of Sultan and everyone around him. Standing just a short distance away was his nephew Muhammad, who rushed forward to protect the Sultan, but he was too late. That evening, Muhammad Tughlaq became the Sultan of Delhi after mourning his uncle's death.
How sad.
How brilliant. Imagine, Muhammad probably cried for the Sultan, cut off the heads of the people who built that arch. He was probably standing close to the arch. He may even have died himself. That is when murder is beautiful, and it's accompanied by chance, nature, and danger to the murderer. And who knows, Muhammad's tears for the Sultan may even have been real. He was the greatest murderer in history.
But who killed the Sultan?
All right. If you're finished with your discourse on murder, we should probably go outside and look at the lamps. It's beautiful outside, and far more cheerful than this conversation.
Wait, we haven't cut the mithai I brought.
All right.
Anil should cut it. He is the host.
This is lovely. Beta, thank uncle for the mithai.
Thank you, uncle. It's bitter.
Bunty beta, manners. I told you to be careful with that. Wipe it with a napkin. Come on. I'm so sorry, Uma. This is such good tablecloth. Matches the curtains. I'm really sorry. Bunty, I'll never take you anywhere again. Never.
Turn it down! Hey, turn it down, Rick. I can hear you.
Can't hear you.
Because you have it up all the way. Your turn to do the dishes. Time you were getting started. It's getting late and I wanted to catch a movie tonight. After you do the dishes. Rick! Rick! Rick!
Cut out!
Do the damn dishes! And it's your turn to pay for the movie.
What movie?
The movie we are going to right now, after you do the dishes.
You do the dishes.
Hey, it's your turn, damn it!
We'll switch turns.
No, we won't. have to have the dishes done by 9 o'clock if we're going for the 9:30 show. And that means you need to shut that damn computer off and get up right now.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, don't you talk to me like that.
Shut the fuck up and let me play my video game.
Don't fucking talk to me like that. Aren't you gonna ask me where I'm going? Ask me where the fuck I'm going.
Where the fuck are you going?
I don't know. Uma's place. I said I'm going to Uma's place.
Who's Uma?
Friend from work.
Have fun.
I will. She's having on a festival today. She's lighting up her whole house. Beautiful house. She just bought it.
See ya.
It's a really huge house.
Good.
I'll be back very late.
Okay.
Very, very late. And you remember how you always wanted my hair long? Well, I'm gonna cut it really short tonight.
Okay.
Don't wait up for me.
Won't.
I may even stay the night.
Do.
Did you hear me? I said I may even stay the night.
Do.
Thank you so much, Uma. That was wonderful.
Thank Anil, not me. He did all the cooking.
Thank you. I've had your dinner so many times, I'm embarrassed. Bunty, say thank you.
Thank you, Uncle.
Say it properly.
Thank you, Uncle.
And Chintu is saying that too. So you promise you're coming next week? As soon as Anil comes back from this camp?
I'll try my best, but I'm a little caught up at work.
Oh, I know. Product launch. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was good soup.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, I'm leaving too. I can give you a ride down the driveway.
Where are your bags?
In the car.
Take care of yourself.
Alright.
Yeah, Uma needs a cook.
Sorry you guys couldn't fit in the car. Anil always overpacks. Dinesh will take you down. Bunty, would you like to ride in Dinesh Uncle's 4x4?
I'm off too.
Off to murder someone with chance and nature?
Bunty. Looks so beautiful. See, Uncle is taking you down the driveway. Bunty, take your hands off the window, beta.
told you to follow the plan. It won't be long now. Uma has just called the police.
Impressed.
Husband saves wife from murderous intruder.
Why research all those lamps if
I didn't want Tughlaq to be the greatest. Do you have any last wishes?
question? What do you hope to achieve by this? She's going to divorce you anyway.
Sometimes a man will do something just to get his manhood back.
Quick, stop it! Look this wall. Put your head behind your back.
What's going on? Not me. He's there.
Where's the key?
What?
Look, I want the key.
This is in my pocket.
Are you okay?
Let me explain it to you.
Are you hurt?
If I were you, I wouldn't say anything.
This is a mistake. I am Anil Vasvani. What the hell is going on? Uma, tell them there's been a mistake.
Mrs. Boxer, are you okay?
Will no one here listen to me? This is a mistake.
Okay, sir, why don't we go upstairs?
Uma, what the hell is going on? Uma? 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 Uma and Dinesh. How could I not have seen it? But Uma? How could Uma? I was a fool. A complete fool. This must have taken a long time to set up. A complete fool.
We've taken some preliminary evidence from the house and we've locked the door. So if you guys can stay out of that room until the inspector gets here, he'll be here in about 15 minutes. My partner and I called the inspector and he's on the way. Okay? Are you sure you guys are okay?
We're fine.
If you need an ambulance, I could call you one.
No, thanks for coming in time, officer.
Okay, great. If you need anything, please call us. Suspect in custody. 3 Adam 12 Deputy Headquarters will be 98 to the station with one.
I've spent many days thinking about that night. Now you've cast off the inconvenient husband. What do the wife and her ex do now? Sit down to have some soup, I suppose.
All this excitement has made me hungry. At least he made good soup. Oh, that melanoma stuff? Give me the envelope before I leave. I promised Dr. Logan that I'd give it back so he could tear it up himself. Doctors are paranoid about such things.
How many years will it be?
What?
How many years will it be?
Oh, Anil. I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Depends on what they charge him with. Attempted homicide, scribbles, injections, carbon monoxide in the air, and a lot depends on your testimony. It all depends on how we approach it. And of course, what you say in court.
But how many years?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
You sounded like one last week when you said maximum 2 years.
That was how it was supposed to be. Wife calls 911, police come, discover a room full of gas, scribbles, injections in husband's locked closet, possible intention to harm wife, max 2 years. But now there's violence. This is more serious. Husband attacks wife, attacks her boyfriend. We'll have to talk to a lawyer. It may be a very, very long time.
A very long time.
Yeah, why? You sound almost as if you don't like that. Anyway, all's well that ends well.
He doesn't deserve this.
Come on now. The maternal instinct is acting up already. I thought you had more sense than that.
You said maximum 2 years.
But I didn't know the son of a bitch was going to ram me on the head. Serves him right. Come on, Uma. It's Diwali, Festival of Lights. Remember?
You still haven't explained something.
What?
Why were you standing behind me like that?
That was just a little fun.
A little fun.
Every man wonders now and then what it'll be like.
To smother the bitch?
That's not what I said. Come on, cheer up. Here. Here, have this. And this is part of the old life, never to be visited again. As I told Anil, don't take notes.
Why'd you do that? Go away.
I wish I was the loser in the slammer so I could get all that sympathy. Instead, I'm merely the winner. Everything's going to be just fine now. I look back to those Berkeley days and feel sad for the time we wasted. Why did you have to leave me? 3 years. 3 pointless years I've spent waiting for you to realize what a mistake you made with Anil. And look how difficult it's been to undo your mistake. And I know I made mistakes too, but punishment should be proportionate to the crime. It wasn't fair of you to use Anil merely to spite me. Anyway, it should be easy to get a divorce now. We still have our lives ahead of us. We still have each other. We still have this house. We can travel, go all over the world. Remember the trip to Machu Picchu you always talked about? Now we can go. Uma?
Yes? What were you saying?
I was talking about the trip to Machu Picchu.
I don't think I'll have time for that.
But you've been talking about it for years.
I know.
All right, next year. This year, we just go to Florida.
I can't.
What do you mean? What will you do for a vacation?
I don't know what you'll do. I have work.
Uma, if you're to live together...
I don't think we can do that.
That maternal instinct again. That man has been dead-weighted on you for 3 years.
You may have misjudged him.
Yes. I thought he was just a chemistry guy mixing solutions in the test tube. But now, I have misjudged him.
I want you to leave the house.
Uma,
Please leave the house.
I'm supposed to take care of you. Remember what the police said?
I can take care of myself.
We need to talk about tomorrow's business. I mean, your statement to the police, the lawyer. I don't want you saying just anything in your testimony.
What testimony? I will not testify against my husband.
What?
I will not testify against my husband.
But then nothing against him. Just a few scribbles on a piece of paper. Anyone can write that for a game. It's you who accused him. That's why they took him and not me. If you back out, he'll be out tomorrow.
He'll be out anyway. I'll drop charges.
I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Who are you calling?
Lisa, I don't want her to come.
You invited someone tonight?
I didn't really invite her.
Wow.
Uma, what has changed in the last 5 minutes?
I finally understood him.
I see. 3 years you spend in contempt of the guy, and 5 minutes after he's gone, you receive a flash of understanding that makes him a saint again. And what do you propose to tell the police tomorrow? Whom will you blame?
I didn't say I'll blame you.
Where there is a murder attempt, there has to be a murderer.
Not if the murderer's dead.
What? What are you talking about?
You'll find out soon enough.
What did you mean by if the murderer is dead?
Just go now, Dinesh. Go home. I'll call the police and tell them it was an accident and I overreacted. Go home. No one will be blamed. Nothing will happen. It'll just be a
God dream?
Don't talk to me like that, Dinesh. Get out of my house.
I will not get out of this house. I've spent 3 years of my life waiting for this to happen. I have planned and I have executed. And when I finally have what I want, I will not get out of this house!
Then I'll just call the police.
And tell them what? Remember? I'm the guy who just protected.
I'll tell them I'll switch the protector with the murderer.
Put the phone down, Uma.
Don't try to intimidate me.
I'm not trying to intimidate you. I said don't!
Lisa?
Uma, sit down.
Lisa!
I said sit down!
Lisa, come here!
Uma! Wait! Come in! Come in, get here!
Oh my God!
Get outside!
What have you done? Let me go!
Hey, it was an accident! Bitch! Uma! Uma!
Poor Lisa.
I'm sorry. I'll get you doctor. Just wait here.
I thought stabbing was barbaric.
I almost feel like I stabbed myself. Just wait here. Oh my God, it's barbaric.
You might not live long enough to get to it. And you should have read more books.
What? What?
There's something called strictness calabrina. Takes hours depending on the dose. If you soak tomato in a mild solution for 3 days, the strychnine finds its way into the soup.
What soup?
The one you just had.
I feel perfectly okay.
For some time, yes.
I need to get you to a doctor.
Get one for yourself.
Everyone else had that soup.
I didn't.
I don't believe you.
You don't need to.
The neighbors.
I always wondered why you suddenly took to cooking.
That's so bitch.
Death comes to apoplexy.
The secret dramas of the East begin and end thus, says the Count of Monte Cristo. From the plant which can create love to the plant that can cause death. Soak tomato in a solution of salts with their base in seeds of the Strychnos colubrina plant. Take 1/10 of a milligram today, 2/10 the next week, and keep increasing the dosage for 8 weeks. At the end of 8 weeks, the same tomato soup that will cause you mild inconvenience is enough to kill another person. There is no particular indication in any organ, except an excitement of the nervous system. Death occurs by apoplexy, leaving no traces of strychnine. Medicine has traveled a great distance since the Count planned and plotted with his chemicals, but he was not far wrong. Like the Count, I have studied chemistry and the natural sciences somewhat deeply. It took me 3 years to improve upon the Count recipe, to reconcile fact and fiction. I had no desire to bring true the fantasies of the Count, but then, as Dinesh always said, if murder was clean and simple and you could get away with it, everyone would be a murderer. They couldn't charge me with anything, just a few naughty scribbles on a piece of paper. And I've been perfectly quiet since, reading my books, listening to my music, a good neighbor who's also a good host, and a good cook.
Hello, Anil uncle!
A little resistance to the Strychnos colubrina plant does no one any harm, especially if you acquire it when you're only 7 years, 2 months, and 13 days old.